We all dream of standing on that podium, trophy in hand, basking in the glory of victory. But sometimes, the journey takes an unexpected turn.
While it wasn't easy fighting to qualify during Stage 1, Sean managed to make it to Stage 2. Time to leave the Lone Star State and make our way to Palm Coast, Florida. Palm trees, wildlife, and waking up to the ambience of the ocean waves sounds like the perfect place to play the most important 4 rounds of golf of your career. Or is it?
I think right off the bat, my swing. It wasn't really in a spot that I wanted it to be going into the event, and I kind of knew that. And I mean, really worked hard, and we just couldn't really find a great feel leading up, like before day one. And so day one, it was like, hey, look, we're here. All we got to do is play the best golf we can. And I mean, it's funny. It was actually decent. For my swing not feeling that great, I mean, right off the bat, gave myself some okay looks for birdie. But my entire premise was, I mean, the wind was blowing. It was a little chillier. It was like, hey, look, we give ourselves 18 birdie putts. We're going to be in a good spot. And hole 4 was, I mean, a great way to start the tournament. It was like I'd parred the first 3, give myself some birdie looks, and then hole 4, hit a good drive, and then hit a 3-wood from like 280 to like 10, 12 feet. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Bury the putt. And it's like, okay, now we're rolling. And I think just really like 5 through 9, gave myself, hole 6, hit a terrible approach shot. I mean, it's just kind of one of the ones where it was just like, swing hadn't been feeling that great and just kind of get one out of nowhere. I mean, made an amazing up and down. I mean, hole 7, gave myself a good birdie putt and just a short one, hit a great approach shot in there and missed it. And so I guess the way that I felt after the first day, I know I made a couple bogeys coming in, one of them being on a par 5, which was a stinger. But I gave myself a lot of chances. I drove it in 3 fairway bunkers on par 5s, which really sucked. And they were barely in too. Like, I mean, it was like, oh, caught the lip and rolled in. And whereas if it hadn't, I would potentially be able to go for the green in 2, things like that. So I just didn't feel like a lot had gone my way. And I hadn't been feeling that great about the swing. So to be in a position where I was after the first round, where I had by no means shot myself out of it, was good. And I mean, I felt good. And I went to the range after and actually found a couple feels that I felt like I could work with. Felt like I started making some better swings and felt like I could be a little bit more confident with where the ball was going to end up, and was actually pretty excited rolling into round 2. Day 1, done. It was a battle. Hit it about a 6 out of 10, putted it about a 4 out of 10, chipped it. Actually, that was probably the bright spot, maybe like a 7 out of 10. I mean, didn't go my way, but the good news, I mean, it played tough out there. Long golf course, windy. I mean, shot one over. I think I'm going to be right in the middle of the pack. I mean, God, I'm frustrated a little bit, but we're going to go to the range. I think I hit a couple better shots down the stretch, so we can go to the range, figure it out a little bit, and then go get some food. You hungry, Billy? All right, let's go get some food after.
The game wasn't going his way. Frustration crept in with every missed shot. It's in moments like these that the mental game becomes the real battle.
Round 2 and 3, I actually felt like I was like picking up momentum. Like round 2, I shot bogey free 3 under, but I felt like it could have been so much better. I started finally making a couple putts. Greens are really tricky out there. It's a grass type called Paspalum. So it sometimes is grainy, sometimes isn't. So, I mean, I hit a ton of putts that just burn the edge, just managed to not find a way to go in. But I felt like I had a stretch in that second round on my second 9 where I started making a couple putts, and I was like, okay, like here we go. This is where we make our move. And so I think that round of 3 under kind of got me back really close to the number. I think I was 1 or 2 off of it. And then round 3 felt the same way. I mean, started hitting some good shots. I mean, I think towards the end of round 3, I think I was struggling just a little bit more, but I did a good job kind of keeping it together. I mean, I was kind of more so back to my round 1 ball striking than my round 2 ball striking. But I mean, I only had 1 bogey on the card for another kind of breezy day. Ended up shooting 1 under. And I mean, at that point, going into round 4, I'm like, look, we're 1 shot, we're 2 shots back. We've made no putts. Like, you know, let's just keep knocking on the door, and, you know, eventually it'll open. And I guess that leads us to round 4. Today was a day. We didn't have our best stuff, that's for sure, especially at the beginning. So I grinded it out, made a lot of really good par saves. I mean, and then started giving myself some birdie opportunities on the back 9. Just can't get a ball to go in the hole right now with the putter. It's so funny. It's like I'm hitting really good putts, they're just not going in. So not really the time to have that happening, not the ideal time. But I mean, we're right in it. It's like I shoot 3 or 4 tomorrow, especially the wind's gonna be up, it's gonna be tough. I shoot 3 or 4 tomorrow, we'll have a really good chance. But gosh, I just had some chances today that I really wish I didn't let get away. But here we are, grinding, figuring it out, making sure we're gonna hit it better tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. Like hole 2, 3 putt. I mean, hole 3 made a great up and down. I mean, at that point, I'm walking from 2 green to 3 tee, like, okay, dude, like, we're losing it. It's off the rails. And then I hit a terrible iron shot on hole 3, put myself in the short-sided spot, but actually get it up and down. And felt like I had a little momentum, like, with that up and down, and being like, okay, like, we got another downwind par 5 here, hole 4. We've eagled it in round 1. Like, let's get it back here. And terrible second shot, hit it in the water, make bogey. And then at that point, I'm like, feel like we're losing it a bit, bro. I mean, yeah, it seemed like the rest of the day too. It was like every time that I had a chance, like the hole after hole 5, I birdie, I hit it close and birdie, and I'm like, okay, like that's what we need. And hole 6, like stripe and iron, goes through the wind, over the green, long, really hard up and down. I chip it good, hit it like 8 feet, don't make the putt. So it was like every time I took a step forward, I felt like I took 2 steps back that day, and just couldn't quite get on top of it. And it, I mean, it sucked. Like, I had Billy on the bag. Thank God I had Billy on the bag, or else I would have probably imploded even more. But I think that, I mean, I just remember in, like, I think hole 7, I think I hit a not great iron shot into the bunker and like chunked the bunker shot out to 25 feet. And it's like, no, to be fair, it wasn't in the bunker. It was a hard shot, but hit that 25 feet, don't make the putt. And I'm like, feel like it's a little over. Yeah. And I did some okay stuff the rest of the round, but I mean, I just felt like it finally started to be like a wave of like all the thoughts of like, yep, this is what you do. It's like you play good all year and then you don't play well at the right time. Like, I just couldn't quite help but shake that narrative. And I mean, it's something that's just played over and over in my career of like, you know, it's like you play good at the times it doesn't matter, and then when time it does matter, you don't get it done. It's like all these YouTube videos I play good in, like all these other tournaments I play solid in, and like all I'm asking for is from at least my B plus game of my ball striking to show up, which again, 85% of the time over the course of the year, it's there. And it's like I get there and I feel like I'm playing with one hand behind my back a little bit with just the way I'm hitting the ball. So it sucks. I mean, and it's just something that I have to work through. I've had to work through and haven't quite gotten on the other side of it. And as far as the future, is that like a healthy thing for me and for my family to be that hard on myself, to, you know, to drag them along with the journey. I mean, because again, like I've told you guys in the first episode, like the amount of times that Allison's heard, oh, last time at Q school, like I'm pretty sure this is the third year she's heard it or something like that. So, is there a fourth one? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Failure has a way of teaching us lessons we might not want to learn. But in every disappointment, there's an opportunity to grow, to sharpen our focus and find strength we didn't know we had.
I think it all alludes to and Billy and I have worked really hard on this. It's like, what kind of person do you want to be? It's like, because there was a lot of moments in that fourth round that I could have just like rolled over, like that I could have just bailed. And I mean, it's funny. It felt like I had there was like two Seans, like one on the shoulder that was telling me to just roll over and give up because I'm not good enough and yada yada. And then there was another one that was like the David Goggins Jocko, like, come on, you wussy. Like, I mean, it's like stick it out, fight. Like, and I mean, they were just, oh my gosh. I mean, they were going at it that fourth round. I mean, because it felt like, I mean, every time I hit a bad shot, it felt like I was like, just give up, you suck. Like, you did it again, another choke job. And then David Goggins, Jocko, Sean would be like, no, you jumped in the ocean this morning and it was 55 degrees. And it was just like, it's like you do hard things. So be a man, be a person that, I mean, really like be a person that you would like objectively be proud to like see yourself as. Like, I mean, and so for me to be able to hang in there and, I mean, come in with a couple birdies on the back nine and, I mean, honestly, play one of the better back nines that was actually shot that day, it does make me proud. I mean, because that's the type of person that I want to be. I don't want to be the person that just rolls over and gets up, because that's not me. That's not the way my dad raised me. My parents raised me. That's not the person that I want to be. That's not the person I want Remy to be. Like, I want to be the person that it's like, you're in it and it sucks and you can act in the moment however you want to act. It's like, I mean, those feelings of me cussing and like telling myself that I suck and telling myself, like, those are real. Like, that's this Sean. Like, but I like to think that I'm more of this Sean and that, like, I'm the person that's going to, like, stick it out. At the end of the day, like, the person that's going to come through is going to be the one that, like, that I want to be more of, the one that doesn't give up, the one that fights through it. And I mean, even if it sucks, just embrace it.
Not making the cut wasn't the end. It was just another step in a longer journey. Because the greatest players know that success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about getting back up, no matter how many times you fall.
I think already right off the bat, as a golfer, you have to be good with failure because you rarely win. I think Bubba said that one time. It was just like, we're like just a group of losers and all we do is lose. I mean, you finish second place, you still lose. There's only one winner out of, like, you know, in this Q school situation, there's 79 people. There's only one person who wins. I mean, so as far as like pushing through, like through those failures, I mean, it's hard. You have to be willing. I mean, you have to know that it's going to hit the fan at some point, right? And you have to know how to respond. And I guess that's almost what goes back to, like, what type of person do you want to be? Like, do you want to be the person that fails and that just says, oh, well, I failed, walk away? And that's the part of me to allude back to. It's like, that would be, oh, I just want to shoot 4 straight rounds 78 and go home. Like, I just want to suck. And it's like, but one, I don't suck. And like, two, like, yeah, when I fail, like, it sucks, but it's like, the type of person that I want to be is I want to respond in a positive manner to that failure. And I want it to make me better. And like you said, I don't want it to define me. And I think that as far as letting the failure define me. It's easy on the surface level to, you know, call myself a failure and things like that, but there were still a lot of takeaways from second stage, from not making it through, I mean, that I'm able to hold on to. I mean, again, like, my short game has kind of been my bugaboo for the last like 2-3 years, as far as like my chipping, my bunker game, things like that. And that was there this week. I mean, that was actually probably the best week that I've had from that perspective, like, in a long time. And so that's a bright spot. I mean, the other bright spot is like, look, it's like I was playing against 79 great players, and I felt like my ball striking wasn't there all week, and I found a way to hang in there. And that's another great takeaway. And granted, it's like, obviously in the moment, you asked me after the 4th round, it's gonna be harder for me to say these types of things. A little bit of time heals all wounds, I guess. And so I have been able to kind of turn this failure into some bright spots. And again, where those bright spots take me in the future, that remains to be seen, I guess.